What is up, all my fans out there? I hope you're super excited for this video, all right? Networking 101 with the host, Devion Johnson. I hope you're ready to watch it. We got a lot of great content to talk about. Hopefully it brings a smile on your face, and hey, enjoy it. Come on. Pick a card. All right, last two. Awesome, sweet. All right. What a great Thursday it is to be alive. I am your host, Devion. You guys know what you're here for, Networking 101. Too bad the other Michigan State students didn't get the point of networking, but I'm glad you guys got the opportunity to come here, get to feel with networking, because the best way to network is to network. There's no other way to put it. You just gotta be out here, you gotta be in the flesh, and Networking 101, because we're gonna go back to the basics. I think the networking isn't supposed to be complicated, it's supposed to be simple, and I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. So I'm your host, Devion, and let's kick it off, okay? This is me. I'm a senior. I'm in the College of Social Science. I have a dual major in human resources and psychology with a little bit of a minor in leaderships of organizations. So I love being able to talk to people. I love being able to facilitate valuable conversations and opportunities like this one. I'm a motivational speaker. So through DSAC, I get to not only present, but through other organizations like FAME, I also get to be a public speaker and to do great events like this. Just this past week, I was actually at Soul Food Friday, and Soul Food Friday was hosted here in Brody. So I get to tell my story, share, and advocate for amazing MSU programs, and I'm glad you guys got to be here and share this time with me. Awesome. So I just want to start with a quick agenda just to make sure that we have an idea of how we're going to be using our time today. Yes, we're going to do an activity, which I hope you guys are excited for. And then we're going to roll into why networking. We're going to also talk about my secret sauce called the 3 Ps. And then we're going to end with strengthening and building kind of your network and what it means to have an atomic network and how to blow up your network from there. So I'm super excited. Let's dive right into it. We're going to do our popcorn activity. And all right, so based on your color card, all right, I'm going to break down how this popcorn activity is going to work. Check the color of your card. I want you to identify as many people with the same color as yours. I want you to get to know them, maybe ask a few questions. This is a small group, so hopefully you guys are able to, get to know each other a little bit better than a larger group. I just suggest that you ask questions to get to know them, and you're like, Devion, what do you mean questions? Well, here's a list of some. So here's a few questions that you guys can, talk about, break up, chat with. I do want to say that your guys' time starts now to get to meet each other. So get up, go, come on, all the blacks on the reds, all the reds on the blacks.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I feel like it's been my identity, kind of working in the sports industry, what I want to do with my passions, my hobbies. I love bringing enjoyment to people, fans, and having that energy. It's just sporting events bring people together, a little bit about it.
I'm a comic, entrepreneurship, so I think for me, I just like calm, to be honest, because I'm interpersonal communication, so I wasn't listening, and then I realized right away, I'm like, dude, I'm a full moment, to be honest. 15 minutes from the city, literally 15 minutes. So that's right over here, where I'm going to but
just the opportunities. I really enjoyed campus when I visited, and obviously Big Ten, sports have always been very much.
Time's up. All right, sweet, okay, awesome. All right, now, somebody raise their hand and tell me 3 things about someone they got to understand from the group. Yeah, 3. Ricky, 3 things. Tell me 3 things.
He's from here, so the reason he came here to Michigan State is because, the second home to him, he loves the sports, and his mom's from here, and my boy Abdullah here is from Greenfield Hills, and so he's an hour hour from our, I think, not where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an hour from Michigan City.
Nice. All right, cool. Trey, whenever anyone participates, they get a free prize. Notebook. All right. Now, anyone else have anything to share about anyone else they learned in the group? Awesome. Talk to me, Todd.
So my boy here is a criminal justice major. He doesn't actually go here, but he likes spending time around here. And I cannot remember a third thing off the top of my head, but I remember those two most important ones.
All right, I'll give a book for effort, all right? There you go, boss. Of course. Damn. All right, awesome. I hope you guys got to learn a few things about each other. The goal is to get to know, get to meet, and understand. If you guys want to sit more comfortably, I'll kind of dive back into the slide a little bit more. Hopefully we're a little bit more relaxed. So why networking? Here's a full EV. If anyone wants to screen, like pull that up, and I want you guys to go ahead and check that out, and I will activate the poll. Okay, all right. So I'm double laptoping right now, but what I can show is that, oh, okay. All right, we got a little bit of a word cloud going on. It's changing as I'm talking right now, but some of the biggest things that you guys have touched on has been connections. Some people have said others. Some people have said building. Some people talk about success. Some other people, it looks like connections is the biggest word. Hopefully you guys can get a glimpse of this little word cloud. So yeah, that's what networking seem like you guys think that's what it means. I agree. I agree about all these things. The reason why I agree is because networking is like grocery shopping, all right? Tyler, what's something you go get from the grocery store?
Ribeye steak.
Ribeye steak, all right. Now, do you just get ribeye steak? What do you get with it?
I usually have potatoes or rice inside.
Okay.
As well as the seasonings for garlic. So,
Yeah. Now, what if you already have all those ingredients at home? What's missing then? The ribeye steak, right? But we don't really ever know that we need these other ingredients until we actually get the main course sometimes. Networking is just like that. We never know what kind of relationships we acquire. We never know what kinds of opportunities might come around the corner for us if we have that availability of, might be rice, might be mashed potatoes. It could be some vegetables. Oh, I have vegetables and I have some pork. Let me put something together. Let me make it work out. But we never really understand the value of what we have until we compare it with something else. We never really understand the value of ourselves until we compare it with somebody else. Find somebody else that can be the yin to our yang, That is networking in a nutshell. It's being able to find the hidden pieces that allow you to put together your big puzzle. And I believe that networking allows us to put together a huge puzzle of life, because you never really know what you're going to need. But when you go to the grocery store and you just hope that, you know what, I'm going to grab this milk. I might make chocolate milk with it. I might make strawberry milk with it. Who knows? I might put it in my eggs and just whip it up and make more fluffy scrambled eggs. You never really know until you need it in the moment. And that's what networking is like. So I've been in the moments where I've had to kick myself in the butt and say, man, what if I made that connection? What if I already had this in my back pocket? That's the value of networking. It's like you're going to the grocery store. And again, just to kind of reiterate, you never really know when or what you'll need it for, but you'll need someone somewhere out there. You really do. You really do. And like I said, you might not know when, but you might know what you'll need it for, like those vegetables. I know I'm gonna need it to make it with the steak, but I don't know when I'm gonna get the steak. I don't know when I'm gonna cook the steak. So there's so many factors that play into this idea of networking, this idea of connecting, this idea of having something when you need it. And these are just my tips, going from comfort zone to growth zone. The reason why I call it growth zone is because, well, it makes us feel uncomfortable, all right? You can't put a limit on a connection. A lot of people do. A lot of people put caps on the relationships they have with people. So take the limit off. Take the lid off. Networking is a face-to-face type of event. I say kinda because we're in a digital age and a lot of people rely on this thing in my hand. We rely too much on this. Well, real connection is not liking people's posts. Real connection is not sharing people's posts. Real connection is what you can feel. Do you feel anything when you double tap on Instagram? Do you feel anything when you like or comment on someone's post? you don't feel anything, you know? What is a connection if you don't feel nothing? That's my biggest question. Again, meeting people different from you. There's so many people at Michigan State. I wish there would have been 100 people in this room so we would have been able to get to meet different people, because the differences in our lives is what allows people to be unique. But the specialty about uniqueness is that there's some kind of common ground that we all have. You know, the biggest common ground of all of us is that we go to Michigan State, or we're affiliated with it in some way, shape, or form. And I think that is a pinnacle of networking. Stop asking if I'm ever going to use this. That's like if you're ever going to use those dang eggs in the fridge. Yes, you will. Again, just quit asking when, and just know that your time will come. In addition, this idea that intelligence is the separation between your experience and somebody else's, that's the humility of networking, because I know as a college senior, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the experiences. I go out, I connect, and I figure out what other experiences have people had to enrich my life as an MSU student, because I know there's opportunity out there. And that's my biggest kind of, that's my biggest tip, is understanding that stop living within your own silo of experiences, and get out and get to know other people's experiences as well. The mind is a highlight reel, it is. And figure out what other people relive in their minds all the time. I'm gonna jump into the 3 Ps. There's gonna be 3 different kind of ways I like to break down networking. There's 3 ways that I look at networking as well, and how I leverage just some of the basic ways to find close people to connect with. Proximity is the first one, and I feel like everyone gets an understanding of that. I mean, I've met a lot of people through class. I've met a lot of people through going to the gym. I mean, I meet people walking around campus all the time. Proximity is wherever you are, you can meet someone there, okay? Now you're like, Devion, how does this come about? What can I do to meet and greet and engage in this environment? So I came up with a couple things, a couple suggestions, all right? Make yourself visible and approachable. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to be most noticed when you do walk in a room, but how can you stand out to someone in a room? How can you be uniquely and authentically yourself to create connections? Secondly, share a smile. There's so many people that walk around campus with an RBF, in their phones. I walk around campus maybe with some music on, with a smile on my face. And there's statistics that show that the more that you smile, the more positive emotions are irradiated, and they're also intaked as well from other people. And start with the compliment. I'll come back to this because I talk about this as well later, but the best way to break any ice is to start with the compliment. I truly believe that. There's no better way to break the ice, okay? Just let somebody know. Just give them a positive compliment, you know? I have a close friend, and sometimes he compliments males. And you know what he says? He says, man, men don't get enough compliments. So he goes out of his way to give them compliments. And again, that is how you expand your network. Pleasure. I like to break this down by saying whatever brings you fulfillment and joy. So talk to me. What is something that you do that brings you fulfillment and joy? Content. Awesome. So having the intersectionality of creating content brings you that's the hard side. The soft side is the people, you know. You have the hard skill set. The soft side of it is the people, the interaction, the engagement, you know. So that's a way that you can interact with people, is by having similar kind of grounding when it comes to making content, or some of your passions, you know. That's why I talk about passion intersections, because we all have different passions. Jake, what's one of your passions? Awesome, cool. Ricky, what's one of your passions?
Drawing.
Drawing, awesome, cool. Cody, what's one of your passions?
Getting outside.
Awesome, yeah. And in every single context, you can share, you can help others interact with you. The more that you are able to take an intangible thing, like a drawing or an idea, and be able to share it, that concept, to let others know and signal to others that this is a passion of mine, and you know, if anyone out there that resonates with this, they also can resonate with you as a person. Secondly, volunteering, I think that brings me a lot of pleasure. I find a lot of purpose in this as well. And this brings you a lot closer to your close network. And social gatherings. I believe that social gatherings can be going to a restaurant, going out with your friends, hitting little social community events. Having fun in your own community and creating that connection with other people allows you to be in those lucky spots. I like to call them lucky spots because you never know what good can happen, but you have to be out there to let it happen to you. Awesome. Purpose. Awesome. This is the last one of the 3 Ps, and the intention of this is we all have an intentional purpose, and with our purpose, how are we able to find an intersection with it? Well, for me, first of all, I like to make sure I go to purpose-driven events. Soul Food Friday was a great event. That was more of a social, casual thing. A purpose-driven event can be more so, connecting with the community for a special cause. Purpose-driven events could be more related to, recently I was invited to a DE&I Expo. The purpose of that was so that we all were there to help solve similar problems and issues regarding race, ethnicity, and things like that. Going to purpose-driven events and community events like that has allowed me to find alignment with some of those people and even help me drive a deeper sense of purpose. And lastly, you find purpose in mentorship. I think this one's one of the most important because there's power in people, and when you purposely uplift people, when you purposely get to know someone, when you love someone with a purpose, there's so many great things that can come out of it, and there's so many great doors that are open because of it. Next, popcorn activity number 2, all right? I'm gonna join this conversation.
Welcome.
Looks like I'm with the Hearts. Nice. Okay, cool. What question you guys talk about?
Oh, we were just kind of
Chopping it up?
Yeah, just chopping up one from our previous conversations.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guys one that stands out to me is, what is one thing you're missing that might bring you guys closer to your goals? You guys have any thoughts on that?
Got one. Motivation.
Okay, yeah.
A support system around me.
Okay.
I do have a support system,
Yeah,
but 100% motivation on myself.
okay.
Just to push myself a little more.
I like
I
that.
know I can do it. I'm lazy.
Nice. At least you're honest about it. What about you?
I would say for myself would be confidence. There's a lot of goals I want to be able to obtain, whether it be internships or
Yeah.
post-grad career.
Really?
And I feel like there's just some confidence issues I have myself. Like I know I can do it.
Yeah.
There's moments where I panic.
Yeah, nice. I found myself kind of relating to that to like the last question, like any moments of imposter syndrome, like making sure that I am who I am and this path is the right one for me, and I'm gonna follow that, because when you're not really aligned with that, like you take steps forward, but they're hesitant steps. They're not really full confident steps, and I totally understand what you're saying. And for me, one thing that I feel like I'm missing that's like setting me back is, I'm not quite sure, but if I was to pinpoint something specifically, I think of like what you talked about, but instead of motivation, I think of like discipline, because humans are creatures of habit, and it's really hard to break old habits, and it's actually quite difficult to start new ones. So I think that's one of the hardest things, is like discipline with positive habits. So yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for making it. Of course, keep chatting. Hey. Which question are we talking about?
Talking about the second one, the moment that you had to call loved one because of school.
Nice. Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Now, I was just kind of talking like my sophomore year, while I was like, my grades were slipping. My mom was like out of school as well because I was just like, I caught cheating in CSE. But it's just kind of like one of those things that like, something you just need help. Something you kind of need to put your ego aside and just kind of sit down, be within yourself, and just be humble, be humility. You have humility within yourself. You just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with asking for opinion.
Maybe it was time for me. It's probably my freshman year. Like, obviously being a freshman, it's a lot. Like something new. Everything's just like going.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I like called my mom a few times like during that. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to work. This is too much.
I feel.
This is crazy. Like, I have no friends here. I need to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think there's like a specific time in mind, but I think in general, my freshman year was definitely pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for most people too. I feel like they come with like no friends. Like they try to make friends, it's tough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like my dorm at the time.
Like first year, man, is always the hardest one because you're like you have so much energy and you don't know how to divert the energy, or you're like a little more like antisocial. You gotta be able to get out of yourself.
Yeah.
In order to kind of like
Yeah.
find some of the what you need to have here in college. Survive, not survive, just kind of have joy and be of being a college student.
Yeah. I like this other question. If you were to create a product or to make your life easier, what would it be? If you guys could add anything to your life that would make your life easier, what would it be?
So add something to my life.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I would add like a ever refilling like water bottle, like a water bottle filler, just so I can always refill my water bottle on me. I think that'd be so cool, like a portable water bottle filler.
I think for me, maybe just make like a little portal there to get to class. Something.
What?
Because you don't want to get to class.
A portal to get to class?
You just wake up 10 minutes before your walk is like 30 minutes. I'm like, dude,
Nice.
how am I gonna make it? Make like a little portal to
What about you?
I would like a machine that like actually makes me breakfast, and I can get
A machine that makes breakfast.
And I can get like packaged things and
Yeah.
buy snacks.
Nice.
That's not real breakfast. Usually those are processed, you know.
Yeah.
Something like genuine cool.
Nice.
And I know you can like probably prep the night before, but we're lazy. We're trying to
I like that. Thanks, guys.
All right, let's talk about some of these questions. In terms of networking, how do you feel like imposter syndrome might hold someone back from networking? Any thoughts? Jack.
This could just be authentic, because if you kind of just fake, then people might like you for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And they might not like you for the wrong reasons. So
Yeah.
this could just be authentic.
Yeah, 100%. Give it up for Jake. Thank you, you are.
Perfect. I love what he said, because it kind of creates friction within you. And if you're battling with imposter syndrome, it's going to be really hard to identify, how can I connect with people within one of my 3 Ps, If you're having imposter syndrome, then are your values aligned? So would that mean that your purpose might be disaligned, And then I also think about some other things about imposter syndrome within proximity, When you're thinking about, this place right now where we're at, am I supposed to be here? Can I create value? Is there things for me to learn from the people I'm around? If you feel like I'm not worthy to learn those things, then again, you're gonna have a hard time figuring out how to network, because it'll be a mental battle within you. Anyone else have any other thoughts around maybe other products or things that make their life easier to connect with people? Anything that you guys thought of? If you were to create something to create connections, what would be easier to create connections? Any thoughts? Yeah. If you were to create something or have some ability, what would it do to enhance creating connections?
going into a portal, like I was talking earlier.
Portal man.
No portal, just like people just kind of go into it.
Yeah.
And like in the morning, they just pop up in a random like room across campus. I think that would be kind of sick. People you don't know.
Instant travel, yeah.
I love that. Give it up for Ricky. Let's see if I can get this back to you.
Nice. All right, cool. Anyone want to talk to me about what they think they're missing that's stopping them
From getting them closer to their goals, Jake?
Motivation, discipline.
Okay.
I just think support system around me to help give me motivation and even give myself my motivation and be able to discipline myself and actually do it when I need to and not just keep pushing it back longer and longer and just actually get stuff done.
I love that.
100%.
Anyone have any tips and tricks for how to fight to keep motivation? Anyone has any tips for motivation?
I got tips, so I'll start there. Austin, what do you got?
So my biggest thing with motivation was what kind of keep you going is find someone that inspires you. And seeing if they have like YouTube channel, podcasts, whatever that might be. And just kind of listening from like their experiences, you know.
Yeah.
Mine personally is like hybrid athletes, super into fitness and eating healthy and just healthy habits. But he's also CEO of like multi-million-dollar company.
Really?
Started in college, so just really doing your research and also like using those resources
to keep you going, keep you motivated.
And the sky's the limit if you keep doing those types of things. You know?
Awesome. I hope everyone listened. You have thoughts? Nick Bear podcast, awesome, cool. Thank you for participating. All right, awesome. I think that was amazing. I think we made a lot of traction. I gave us a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but lastly, I want to kind of kick off and segue into our last section from this kind of networking presentation was building and strengthening a network, all right? So everyone wants to talk about build a network, but nobody really ever talks about what you do when you build a network or how you strengthen it. My biggest kind of thought on this is if you have a fire, a flame, you know, it could be like a little furnace, little placeholder. You have to keep adding more wood, adding more coal to keep the fire going. And that's what I think of networking, because networking, you are your reputation. If you're a flame, but your flame tends to go out, then you'll be known for inconsistency, you know. If you're always late to a meeting, then that will be a reputation as the guy who comes in late. So I want to just take the time to help you understand that you can build on your brand that allows you to help pull in people into your network by strengthening your reputation. Anyone have any thoughts about what it takes, what they've done to kind of build a reputation for themselves? I know you talked about being an athletic trainer. What were some things that helped you build your reputation as a trainer?
I mean, first impressions I feel like are huge. That's number one, especially when you're meeting new people. So obviously you want to be on your A game when you're networking with someone, because that first initial connection and impression from them is like, that's really what they're going to remember, you know?
Nice.
And also like a quick tip if you don't mind adding too is like,
go for it.
A lot of people struggle.
And I'm guilty of this too, is like when you're meeting these people and you're building like your network and trying to strengthen it, like it's okay to like take notes on those people and like and tips. Like I learned from one of my mentors, like she would every professional
that she would meet, she would take notes on them.
Really?
So
like a file.
If she were to reach out to them like the following year and like there was an opportunity, she had pretty much like a file on them.
Nice.
She knew exactly what they were doing, how to reach out, and just made that relationship a little more special for them.
You touch on a lot of great things, and I believe the biggest takeaway from what you talked about is have a reputation that is so bold, that is so unique, that people can't help but to remember you. That's kind of my takeaway.
Awesome. What's next? The 10-foot rule. I say the 10-foot rule. For Jack, it might be the 3-foot rule. For Cody, it might be the 20-foot rule. Who knows? For me, it's like if I see you in my sight, I will say something. I don't care how far away you are. If you're in my sight and I see something about you, a characteristic, the way you talk, the way you engage with someone, and that pulls me, I'll say something. But the main principle of the 10-foot rule is to say that
when anyone comes within 10 feet, give or take, give them a compliment, create an engagement, say, hey, say, lovely weather we're having here. Find some way to connect with someone, because you never know where that connection can lead yourself. That's the breakdown of the 10-foot rule, is having this little bubble around you. Whenever someone steps in your bubble, you say, hey, you say hi. That can take you so far. This can take place anywhere, like I said, talking about networking through proximity. Wherever you are, your network is too. And I think that's huge, okay? So take advantage of that. You could be on campus anywhere. You could be in your professional career going to get a coffee in the middle of your day, and go connect with someone. If they're within 10 feet, if they're within 5 feet, say, hey, look, lovely outfit you have on today. It really stood out to me. I just wanted to compliment you. Hey man, thanks for it. I appreciate it. You never know what you can do for somebody. And the 10-foot rule also has a couple implied applied principles as well. Just the ability to give, all right? Networking is giving something to someone. It could be information, it could be a compliment, it could be a upliftment. If you can make anyone feel any certain way, my biggest experience from Michigan State and creating networks comes from not saying the right things, but making people feel the right emotions. So if you can make people feel the right ways in which they'll remember you, you'll have no problem keeping a network and enlarging your network. And I want to talk about these two things as kind of one of my last breakdowns, as a digital identity and a social identity. Does anyone have
Thoughts about what these mean? Anyone want to take a guess? Adam?
It's like the online presence and the in-person presence.
Online presence and in-person presence. Okay, I like that. You know what that gets? Notebook.
Oh yeah, bing bong. We're giving out prizes, all right? Yeah, I would totally agree. A digital network is just so you have a digital brand. If you want to connect, if you want to grow a network, you need to be able to have a tracker for you on the internet so people can stay connected with you. Like I said, sometimes we think that we're on these too much, and sometimes maybe we are, you know, but are we using it for the right tools, the right reasons? And that's the biggest takeaway about having a digital identity, is not just using LinkedIn to network, but having a website for yourself, using other platforms that are not maybe as mainstream, but to still network and find your way. Even if you go jumping towards the social identity aspect of it, if you leverage your digital identity from Facebook, get yourself within a group within Facebook or within some kind of platform, and then you create a social identity based off of your pleasures, like I talked about. This could be a book reading club, this could be a longboarding club, this could be a fitness club, you know? Whatever it is, have that social identity. There are so many different social categories out there, and it's only up to you to decide if you feel like you belong in those areas. Because anyone can create a level of inclusion, but it's only up to you to feel like you belong in that environment. And these two work hand in hand with each other. Social identity also comes in play in person as well. A social identity of mine, like I talked about, I'm an Evans Scholar, so one thing that I take pride in and take pride in having a network in is having a network of Evans Scholars that I can identify with. Having the ability to break down the different levels of connectivity and to know where and how I can network is super important, because I never know when I'll need those connections one day, but I know one day I will need them. So those are definitely the two biggest areas I say that if you want to network, you should look to grow at those two areas. I'll just play a short little video for us. All right.
It was like 12 other smart people. So when he made his first 100 million with PayPal, he was surrounded by 12 geniuses. 2 of them went on to become the co-founders of YouTube. 1 of them went on to be the founder of LinkedIn. 2 of them became the co-founders of the first or second largest venture capital fund in the world. He was surrounded by geniuses. So we have this myth that one person who's smart just sits in a room and comes up with all these good ideas and they just work in silence and all. So my point is, I don't find evidence for what a lot of people think. No time, you don't need books, you don't need mentors, you go out and do it on your own and you'll get all the good ideas yourself. You got to lose.
I love that. I love him. And he really, anyone agree with it? What this whole kind of presentation was about is that art of networking, like I said, is like going to the grocery store. You never know what you need, but you're going to grab a bunch of ingredients and just know that you're going to whip up the best delicious meal. Well, Elon Musk was in a group of 12 people and they whipped up the best, hottest product on the market, you know? So you really never know what the culmination of a few minds can really create. And that's one thing I just wanted to highlight from that. And we're going to be wrapping up soon. I just wanted to say this is more events to come. So make sure you look out. We have a academic burnout session coming. That's on March 8th. And then there's also going to be a scheduling 101. Sam, when are we doing our... Yeah, I apologize. Okay, cool. Okay, March 15th. Canceled. Awesome. Awesome. So if you guys are free after spring break, March 8th is the next closest event, and it'll be a student speakers panel. And guess what? I'm the host. So I'll be hosting a bunch of different other student speakers within the College of Social Science. They're going to talk about their experience, and hopefully they're going to be able to create some connections and help people resonate with their stories. I thank you for joining me today on this lovely Thursday. And Brody, if you guys could, just scan this QR code for an exit survey, and I'll play some more music, and we can find our way out of here. If you have any questions, let me know. We're gonna go out on a bang. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Mad love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the content today. This activity was one of a kind. I partnered with the College of Social Science, DSAC, the Dean Student Advisory Committee, to host this event at Michigan State's campus. I hope that we can host more. All I gotta say is that I hope that you're able to understand how to be better at building your network, strengthening your network. And my biggest thing is, I always say your vibe is your tribe, okay? So go out there and find your vibe. Go out there and find your people that radiate the same energy that you do, all right? I know they're out there. Like I said about the grocery store, it's not a matter of when or what you'll use it for. Just know that you'll end up needing those ingredients of life. Your network is what allows you to expand your opportunities, okay? So go out there, go expand your opportunities. I know you can do it. I know you're gonna be amazing at it. It might be weird or uncomfortable in the beginning, but just know everything starts out weird and uncomfortable, gets messy in the middle, and super beautiful at the end, all right? Have a great one. Stay inspired, stay motivated. See you guys in the next video.
Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle.